So the first thing to do is to cut out the lower part. The lower part, the full length is 21 inches. So the upper part is 9 inches, the lower part is 11 inches. So I'm going to be cutting a total of 12.5 inches for the lower part. So I have 12.5 inches by 60 inches. Remember that we have to double the fabric so that it's easy for us to cut. So we have 30 folded into 2 times 2, that's 60 inches. So the next thing to do is to cut out the back pattern. So the shoulder is 8 inches. I'll measure 4.5 inches. Then I'll come down by ½ inch to create a slope. Then after that, I'm going to come down by 4 inches, the armhole length 4 inches. Create horizontal line. Remember that the half length is 9 inches plus sewing allowance. So you measure to the side, measure to the other side, then create a curve 2 inches. Then input your bust measurement. My bust measurement is 22 divided by 4, that's 5.5 plus 1 inch sewing allowance. So you are going to transfer this 6/8 to the lower part of the waist. Then you join, because the waist is not fitted, it's a little bit loose, so you are using the same measurement as the bust measurement. So for the neckline, I'll measure 2 inches to the other side, then 1 inch depth. So create a curve. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the back pattern. So I'm going to notch the center of the back pattern. You're going to notch the center, then you're going to notch half of that center, that is where you place your dart. But before that, you're going to reduce the back by ½ inch so that it won't be too low at the back. Reduce it by ½ inch. Then you notch the center of the back pattern. Then fold again into 2, leaving 1 inch sewing allowance, then notch. That means that's the half of the half, like the quarter. So for the front pattern, I'm going to place the back pattern on a piece of fabric and trace it out. So after tracing it out, then I'm going to cut out. So after that, I'm going to mark where I notched on the fabric. So I'm going to be marking those points. If you notice the design of the dress, the other part of the surplice neckline is overlapping at where the dart is supposed to be. So from that point, I'm going to go up by 1 inch. Go up by 1 inch from that marked place. Then from your shoulder tip, create a curve to meet that point. So after that, I'm going to cut out that pattern. So I've successfully cut one part of the overlapping neckline. So the next thing to do is to cut the other side. So what you are going to do is that you are going to flip it, like you are mirroring. You are going to flip it, because if you cut on both sides with the same pattern, it's going to give you a funny effect. It won't be balanced. So you're supposed to flip. In case you're working with a pattern fabric, you're supposed to flip. So I'm going to cut it out. So that means I'm having like two pieces already, for the left side and for the right side. So this is what I have now. You can see it's complete. So the next thing I'm going to do is I want to use the same fabric for the lining. So I'm going to be cutting out that same pattern in two different places. So that means I'm making the back pattern 2. I'm making the front, the right and the left 2 each. So you just make sure that the other side of the other fabric, other pattern, you put interfacing, so that it will make the neckline stand well. So the way it is now, you have like 2 pairs. So the first thing to do is to join the shoulder line of the 2 patterns. You join it for this one, then for the second pair you join the shoulder line also. So this is what I have now. So the next thing to do is that I'm going to go ahead and place the 2 pairs of pattern on each other. So I'm going to join the armhole as illustrated. I'm going to join the armhole. I'm going to sew around. You're going to sew around the second armhole too, then the neckline as illustrated. So I'm going to press. So I'm going to go ahead and join the side of the bodice, the upper part, by 1 inch. So I'm going to join these 2 sides. In a way, you can decide to conceal the stitch or you expose it, depending on how you want it. The next thing to do is to gather the lower part. Run gathering stitch and gather. So after sewing the gather stitch, you join to the upper part of the dress. Then you fold in by 1 inch to create an overlapping effect. So after that, I'm going to press to flatten where I stitched, then the place where I overlapped. You can decide to sew on it, but me, I don't like seeing thread unnecessarily. It affects the finishing of my work. So preferably you can use hemming gum, or you hem with needle and thread, or you run the stitch if you don't mind. So after that, at the waistline, make your buttonholes 3 inches apart. So I'm going to go ahead and rip the buttonhole, then mark where the buttons will be fixed, then sew the button, hem the lower part of the dress, and you have your dress.